Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as well as what we have in front of us, to help the crossword as always. And I also pulled the 4 agreements, wisdom, oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology as we have in front of us to get an idea of where you folks should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have Pisces. And Pisces is your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and relationships. Astrologically speaking, we have Saturn retrograde in there right now, and then also we'll have Neptune start a retrograde cycle in there in July as well. All right, we have, 7. So yeah, once again, the same thing that I just said about the Pisces energy there. So it could definitely be a focus on your relationships this month. And crazy enough, Neptune. So apparently a lot of 7th house energy for you guys for sure. That's actually kind of crazy. But we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. And challenging that, we have Strength, which is the major arcana card for Leo. So this is a Virgo energy here and a Leo energy. So there will be a lot of energy moving through Leo for you guys. We're going to have a Venus retrograde there in July. Mars will be there for a bit before moving into your sign. Mercury's going to pass through there. Obviously the Sun as we get toward the end of July. So a lot of energy hitting your 12th house. And to see this 10 of Pentacles in reverse with this challenge in it could just be saying that you might just feel like you want more and more and more, right? Like you could just almost have this insatiable desire around something, possibly finances for some of you. You know, you might feel like you just need to accumulate more and more. And the challenge there could just be saying to tame your ego around those things, right? Like it could just be more of an ego-driven desire on your part, and you might need to come to realization around that and try to tame it this month. And I mean, yeah, like I said, all of that could be related to all the 12th house energy that you guys are going to have, which could cause you to, you know, get into a bit of a dream world and maybe not see things too clearly all the times. And then we also saw a lot of Pisces energy within your dice too. So, and then Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house. All right, in the foundation position, we have the King of Wands. So more Leo energy here. And again, like I said, it could just be one of those things where you just have a desire to have things your way, right? And always feeling like there's a desire for more in the process. And for some of you, could just be saying that maybe this would be a good time for building things on the idea stage, right? So on the positive side of things moving through your 12th house, you can actually come across some really good ideas from here now and again, rather, but at the same time, it just might not be the best time to act on those things. So it's a good time to let those thoughts filter through and see which ones have practical ability to come through and which ones you should probably just leave as just thoughts. All right, in the past position, we have the 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, to me, this is an indicator that in the past you were building something long-standing, stable, right? That would stand the test of time. But like I said, for whatever reason, maybe you're just feeling like that growth and progress isn't strong enough for you at this time. You know, maybe you're hoping that it would have moved a little bit more quickly as far as what you were building, but at the very least, it looks like you were working with a steady foundation in the past. All right, in the present position, we have the 9 of Cups. So yeah, to me, this is an indicator, at least for some of you, it looks like in the present you might already be feeling that sense of contentment. So for some of you, that feeling might not have come forward for you yet, as far as feeling like, oh, I want more, 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 right? Or for others of you, could just be saying that it might have been a short-lived thing, and as we move to the present, you're already feeling like you're out of energy, and you're actually moving back into a state of gratitude. All right, in the near future position, we have the 6 of Wands. So this is an indicator of some level of success and recognition. This is actually a Leo energy here as well. So for some of you, this could just be saying that maybe you'll feel this as we get toward the very beginning of August, because this represents the middle 10 degrees of Leo, and that would be around that time. But yeah, looks like you will be getting some kind of recognition around your work this month. All right, In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Hermit. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign. So yeah, like I said, for a lot of you, this does seem to be an indicator that for the majority of you, that might be a short-lived thing where you feel like, oh, I want more, more, more. You might quickly feel that blip rise up within you, and then say to yourself, oh, okay, you know what? That's kind of off my radar now. I'm feeling better, feeling content, right? Maybe actually taking value in what you already do have, right? So yeah, it could just be a momentary thing. Like I said, sometimes 12th house energies can be a little tricky like that, especially with a Venus retrograde, no less. So might be one of those things that you might feel that hit come up in you for a little bit, and then you might say, oh yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah, I thought I wanted this thing, but maybe not. All right, in the environment position, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, there could just be this desire around you to actually get moving, right? So maybe for some of you, this is a desire to travel, right? See new cultures, see new things. And this could just be saying for some of you, maybe that's even what you're being encouraged to do, right? Maybe as you get out and expose yourself to more environments, you might actually have more appreciation for where you are currently. Or for some of you, maybe you will be inspired through those processes, and then that will help reinvigorate you in what you're currently doing, right? So you could look at what you currently have through fresh eyes. So it could just be one of those situations. All right. In hopes or fears position, we have the Lovers. So this is actually Gemini energy here. Now, I do have to say, I mean, this doesn't really come across like much of a relationship reading at all with the main spread, but given that all that 7th house energy came through in your dice, for some of you, this could be a desire you have there, right? Where maybe you have a desire to find what you would consider to be your other half, right? Maybe that's part of the problem where you might feel like, okay, I have built a lot on my own, but what's missing is that other piece, right? So it could just be one of those things where maybe that's the realization some of you are coming to. Like, okay, yeah, I have achieved quite a level of success on my own, but now I'd like to incorporate someone else with that, right? Because I mean, Ten of Pentacles, even in the reverse, is far from a sign that you're lacking, right? But more of maybe mentally might feel like you're lacking. So that could be what this is pointing to here, saying that, okay, I've achieved all this success on an individual level, but now I'd like to incorporate someone else into all that. All right, in the outcome position, we have the Four of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here. So yeah, for some of you, it might just be one of those things that might even be a little bit back and forth, right? Because here, this to me is never energy pointing to feeling a lack of contentment. So, and this is usually when things are coming your way, but they're just not necessarily the things that you would desire, right? But what's tricky about this energy is we see the person's not happy with what's being offered, but at the same time, they're not being proactive to go after what they do want. So it could just be a temporary thing for you guys too, because this is actually the last 10 degrees of Cancer here, so that'll be around the middle of July. So maybe before we progress into Leo season, you might feel that temporarily, and then when we do get into Leo season, given that we have some fire energy there, you might actually let this inspire you to move forward and go after what you do want. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. So yeah, this could just be, like I said, kind of what I was saying here, where it looks like there's a little bit of back and forth, right? Like desiring more, feeling content. Looking at what you have, right? Coming through with appreciation for that, and then desiring more. So it could just be one of those things that could be a little bit back and forth for you guys this month. And like I said, given all of that energy that will be going through your 12th house, it somewhat makes sense. So I think for a lot of you, it would be more of a short-lived thing, but definitely something that'll pop up on your radar at the very least. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have don't make assumptions, assume nothing. Okay, it says in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they're going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. So yeah, interesting message there again. Like I said, this didn't really come across like a relationship reading to me, but again, given that you had so much 7th house energy pop up in your dice, maybe for some of you this is around a relationship, right? Where maybe there could be a lack of gratitude there. Maybe feeling like you're not getting enough from your partner, right? But at the same time, it could just be saying, well, maybe the key there would be to communicate what you do need and open up that line of communication. And in doing so, that could help the relationship move forward. So I will say with this energy here, it's an action oriented energy. So this could represent if you do express those needs, right? You might actually find that the person's more accommodating than you expected, given that we see the Six of Wands in the near future. So something to think about there. All right, moving on to your Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have Observe. There's the artwork, and the number is 49. This energy reminds me of the Hermit as well, but we'll see what it says. Okay, it says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. The Oracle's message: most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral standpoint. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So yeah, reading that message there definitely made me think of actually somewhat the Knight of Wands, where we were talking about exploring your environment, right, or possibly different environments, and then also the Hermit too. So it really kind of made me think of both those energies there. All right, the relationship message says sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. I will say that message definitely came across to me as what we were talking about, given the fact that you guys will have Venus retrograde in your 12th house, right? So that actually sounds like that perfect scenario of what they were saying, where someone might say something and you might read it as something similar to what happened to you in the past, where that wasn't what the person meant by that at all. And then that could cause, some level of disappointment there. So hopefully that resonated. All right, the prosperity message says, it is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. Definitely a positive message there as far as that makes me think of what we were talking about with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse with the Strength card challenging that. So hopefully that resonated. All right. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the chin mudra. The keyword for it is awareness. All right. There's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says sharpens the intellect, reduces daydreaming and mental fantasy during meditation, lifts depression, opens the lower lobes of the lungs, especially when accompanied by deep diaphragmatic breathing. So reduces daydreaming, like we said, given all the 12th house energy you guys have, that might sound beneficial for you guys. But yeah, that does sound like a mudra you'd be interested in. I'll put the name in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.